Hey, what's up guys, the boss here. Welcome to another video here on my channel, and in the last one I told you already that I'm gonna go to China soon, and I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but in the 2.5 version of Survival Arena, which got launched yesterday, we're having a Chinese themed event, cause on the 16th of February the Chinese New Year celebration is gonna take place, and we had this basically already 2 months ago, but still we're gonna get an event which is pretty big. So it's not just the event itself, but also a lot of troops are getting a buff inside of this update. The design of the app changed and new cards are getting introduced to us, so a lot of stuff, and it's in general very massive. So I don't want to talk about every point, but I will just pick 3 things I like most and some parts which I don't really like. And if you want to see the full patch notes, check the description of the video and you'll find it there. And by the way, the fight in the background is one of the most action-packed fights I had in a while. It was pretty close, which was pretty amazing, and therefore I recommend to have one or the left eye focused on the fight and the other one on me while I'm talking. And also you're welcome to write your thoughts about my thoughts here basically into the description, so that we can get a better picture about the update in general. And now let's start with the first point which I want to talk about, and the most important one in my opinion. And surprisingly enough, this has nothing to do with the event but with the card buffs, because don't get me wrong, the event is awesome, but the event is just a temporary thing and the card buff is a long-term thing which will affect the whole gameplay of Survival Arena in general. So that's why it's ranked above the event personally for me. And the first card which experienced a major buff is the Lightning Tower, and it got a significant damage per second buff, and it's now way more powerful than before, and especially in sudden death it becomes better than the Mortar at some point. I'll do as well a video about that where you can convince yourself of that by yourself basically. And therefore finally the Lightning Tower is becoming an epic card, which deserves to be an epic card, because before I was not really sure about that. And then we're also having another card which experienced a major buff, which is the Void Ray. And I think after the 2.1 update it became more a laser machine gun or something like that. But now finally it returned to its old glory and gives again the impression of being worth it to be a legendary card. Because now it has a continuous laser beam of course, but it's also very effective against mini bosses, at least that's what I experienced in the event. So overall a very nice buff in my opinion, and you'll see probably it as well popping up in one of the next videos inside of my loadouts. And the last card which I want to talk about, which experienced a significant buff, is Scarlet Blade, and it finally became again very strong, because prior the 2.5 update, when you picked Scarlet Blade as your beginning hero, basically you were screwed, because it didn't really was comparable or was really a match in comparison to the other heroes. So I'm very glad about it, and especially since I'm having her on level 16, she was also the hero I picked before, or right at the start when I started playing Survival Arena, and then I was surprised when it got that massively buffed, but finally they reversed that a little bit, and Scarlet Blade is finally again a hero which we can use inside of PvE, which is awesome. So now she's back in shape and I love it. Then there are 2 more cards which got buffed, which is the Flamethrower and the Poison Jet, and I think that's as well pretty awesome, because especially in the case of the Poison Jet, it was not really strong, and now finally it's usable again, which is pretty nice. But I think overall the buff was not that significant when it comes to those cards in comparison to the other 3 I just mentioned. So looking at all the stuff which got buffed, I'm pretty much glad that the game didn't do a turn around 180 degrees where all tower stats got changed again, which was the case in the 2.1 update. So this time it was just a little bit of fine-tuning going on, and that was it. And I'm pretty much glad about it, because now the things which were good already or were in balance weren't brought to imbalance again. So that's a very positive thing I'm very happy about. And now we can go to point number 2 I want to talk about with you today. So the next thing I want to talk about are the new cards which we got. So first of all, we got a new hero, a new tower, a new ammunition, and last but not least a new troop card. And I think that's nice because in most cases we cannot have enough of the cards, because it brings new diversity, it helps us, or it gives us the option to develop new tactics in general. And I think that's pretty nice, because at the moment I think we're all using similar loadouts, and that's basically kind of static. I want to have some new things, some new experiences in my day-to-day survival arena routine, and definitely those cards will add their enough value to make that possible, at least I hope so. But again, these are all event cards, so probably you can only earn those cards during this event. So if you want to get your hands on them, you should start playing right now, because afterwards we don't know if those cards will be unlockable, or if we have to wait again 1 year to just get our hands onto them, which is also kind of a negative aspect I just wanted to mention here. Because imagine you're like a player starting in 2 to 3 weeks, and then you have to wait 1 year to just get the cards which we are getting right now in this event. And I think that's kind of unfair to some extent, because imagine those cards just give you a massive advantage in some arenas or just in PvE, and then you cannot get them, you just need to wait for the update to come, for the event to come. And I'm not quite certain if that's really the right approach here, but of course I don't know how that's gonna be, so the only thing we can do is speculate about it. And as well, like we can get a new troop card, which is a dragon, and this dragon is very OP. So this guy has a health of 1000, and basically the stats are pretty much similar to the legendary dragon, and you can get those cards already when you're in League 1. Now on the one hand, it's good that you can get those cards in League 1, because then now at the moment everybody can get their hands on them, and this is pretty nice. But imagine now a League 1 player like even level 10 is running around with that dragon inside of PvE, so I think that's kind of a win condition, and nobody can really do anything against it. But of course that's again just speculation. I don't know how that's gonna unfold later on when the event is over, or in general, but that's just something I'm a little bit worried about. But like I said, we're gonna see how that's gonna take place later on. And now let's talk about the last point, and that's of course the event itself. So I have to admit, it truly brings some fresh Eastern winds onto our devices, and I'm surprised how much effort the developers put into this temporary event. It's just mind-blowing that we got a new arena, new tasks, and also the overall update and design of the app right now is just amazing, and I'm super glad, and I cannot complain really about it. And I also really like the master tasks list, which is something completely different in comparison to the normal tasks. So in the end of the road we are probably gonna get some awesome reward, which I pretty much like, and we don't get that in the normal task list, so this is definitely a plus point there as well. And I also like the arena there, but there is again something I just need to criticize, which is the randomness of the airwaves, cause it appears to me that this is a win condition, so you're basically just skipping through all the waves all the time until you find something which looks favorable to you and to get an advantage. And I don't think that this should be a win condition, but of course if you're going then for those lanterns and stuff, then it's of course a good thing, so that you can see, alright, first airwave is coming after 2 rounds, and you can collect a lot of lanterns during the match for the master task list. But besides of that, I think, yeah, this shouldn't be a win condition, and therefore I hope that's gonna change as well in the future. But that's overall something for the whole survival arena, that simply airwaves determine if you're gonna win, if you're gonna or if you're gonna lose at some point, and how you perform. So I hope that's gonna change, but that's of course in comparison to this huge update, for me personally just a minor thing, because of course the update is just awesome. So I just want to wrap it up right now, and you could hear already that some parts I just had to criticize, but overall the update I think is very solid. and it will be definitely very entertaining as long as it lasts, and I just want to play it right now. And of course there will be some videos coming up about strategies and so forth. In addition, I'm gonna experiment around with the new cards which got buffed, because I think they're gonna give us some nice opportunities to perform better, not just in sudden death but also in other arenas. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Drop your thoughts about the 2.5 update into the comment section, and don't forget to smash the like button. That's gonna do it for me. Have a great day. Peace out.